Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and this is part 8 of this video series. As I promised that in my last video that I will be creating the video on forget password functionality, but I will be doing that shortly later. But for now, I have a topic for creating a video on two-factor authentication. So we all know that what is two-factor authentication. Like you can see whenever I am entering my credential to my login API, I'm directly getting a token. That means any of my friend or someone who is not my friend gets the user credential by any chance or by any event. So he might be able to use my all the accesses, like all the things that I have access to, he will be able to use. So how can we make this process secure? So we use a process that we call two-factor authentication. That means if someone else has my credentials, then he might not be able to access the resources until I approve through my another login device. Like that could be my phone, any authenticator on my phone, or email or SMS. So this is the mechanism we are going to implement in this video. Now you'll see when I try to log in as I did in the last video, I get the token directly. That means I can do anything once I have user and password. So we will be changing this implementation a little bit. Let's flip to the Visual Studio. You can see in the SQL server we have a column name in the user table name as two-factor authenticate, two-factor enable. And for my previous user, two-factor was not enabled. We can ask the user later to enable the two-factor authentication, or if you initially want your user to enable this field, so you can add this line of code here while registering the user. Two-factor enable equals to true. Or in any other case, if some users are not have not enabled, you can create another API for enabling this, or you just update in the database. So that's not the big issue. Let's come back to the login functionality, and we are going to change a little bit code up right here. You see, we are directly granting them for the token. Okay, let's stop that and add a condition. What condition? If the user who is login enable two-factor authentication. If the user has enabled two-factor authentication, that means the value is true, then we gonna not return him the token directly. We gonna return him a message. Okay, bhaiya, like this. Let's copy this. My code has lots of duplication, as I'm noticing while creating the tutorial. So this is all the code that I'm writing on the runtime. That is why I feel like lots of duplication of the lines. So I can make the code more generic, but that would be a little bit complex for you to understand, right? So if user has enabled the two-factor authentication, we're gonna say them we have sent an OTP to your email, and the email is, it's your choice that you are letting the user know that on which email we have sent user.email. And let's check this code. So you can have a look. Both of my user has not enabled the two-factor authentication, so this code will not be working. This if case is not gonna work in their cases. So let's check this first. So we will be enabling that by using SQL query. We're not gonna register them again, or I am not gonna make another API for making this field enable. You can do by yourself. You just have to create an API for updating a field, right? Striker is working. Okay, provide the username SALMAND and ABCD @ you see the token is directly written. Now let's come back to the SQL server and let's do a naughty thing, which is I do not recommend. I'm just doing for the tutorial. Never ever do it on the production or any server, their database server. So let's update ASP.NET user set two-factor enable equals to 1, where I'm enabling for which user? Salman D. right? Where id equals to this, and execute this. Now you can look that for one user I have built a two-factor authentication, which is a Salman DID. Let's flip to the browser again and click the execute button. Now you see success. We have sent an OTP to your email, to this email. But where is an OTP? We have not implemented the code for sending the email. But in our previous tutorial, we already had written the code for sending an email. So we had created a utility. You can check up right here in the service, and we had used it while registering the user. So we are gonna use this now. All right, so you can have a look that we have generated the confirmation list link last time, and we created this message and send it over the email. We're gonna do the same thing again in the login API. Let's come back here, and before sending this message, we are going to add this line of code that we're going to generate a token. And how we can generate a token? There is a method in the user manager, generate two-factor token sync, and this is the user. Okay, there are two parameters. Let's check the parameter what they are required: identity user and token provider. Let's add that. Now we got the token. Let's send this token to the email. So we're going to copy this and paste in the confirmation email. OTP confirmation. Here, right here, we're gonna send the token. Fine now. It's not giving me an error anymore. Let's try it now. Let's try to log in and provide the name, username, password, abcd123@. You can have a look that we have sent an OTP to your email. Let's open the email now. Here we go. You can have a look. OTP confirmation. Oh, it's the typo, spelling mistake. No worries. And this is the code. So I have not created any template that your code is blah 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 and please enter and stuff. So you can do that by yourself. I just sent it a generated code. Okay. So let's create another action for verification of this OTP code. We need to flip to the Visual Studio back, and we're gonna create a new login. Okay, let's copy everything right here and paste it here. HTTP post. Okay. Login with OTP. Okay, this is the name of this section. Login with OTP. And let's add a string. Two-factor code. Let's just add this as a code. Okay, and code should not be null. We need to validate that first. And up right here. Okay, so we need to add this method. But before, let's remove this. We need to add one thing. Let's copy and paste here. We need to add a sign-in manager. Sign-in manager, and name it as sign-in manager. Copy this and paste. Sign-in manager is equals to sign-in manager. Now let's come back here and sign-in manager dot two-factor sign-in authentication. We had done this through the email and pass the code. Is persistent, make it as false, make it as false. Var sign in and make it as await async. If dot succeed, then we are going to implement this piece of code that we had done this right here. Need to change lots of things. Let's copy this here and paste. And for now, I'm applying a JB. I need to I need to create a separately the method for this logic. But for now, I'm just copying and paste for making it work, because tutorials should not be getting longer. I will do this again. Copy and paste. And what we need to remove, here what we have in the sign in. And let's pass the user name so we can find the user. I need one line of code more. This we're not gonna check password, it's here. Name.name, claim.role, okay, that's fine. There was a mistake of this. Yep. So I separated the logic for creating the token. In case if result is not succeeded, you can return a message .404. Invalid code. Let's try this now. Alright, let's log in here. CLMANB and BCD @ execute this. We have sent an OTP. Let's get to the browser, check for the code. Yeah, we got the code. Let's come back with the code. Here the login with 2FA. Try it out. This is the code. Saying invalid code. Why? Code is invalid. Alright, I know the issue why I was getting that error, because when I'm using this line of code, if user.2-factor enable, so I'm not making my user to sign in. You can have a look that user is. You need to add this line of code, await sign in manager or sign out async. First you need to sign out your user and then sign in your user by using the password. This is the username and the credential password, and then make this property false and the next one is true. So these two lines will make your work fine. Now let's check this. So I will be making a video to refactoring this code, and will be making removing all the duplication of the code in some video. Hopefully I will be getting a good response on that, because usually people don't watch such kind of video. They just come and take their piece of work and never come back to the channel. So that is why I'm not getting lots of subscribers. I really have a number of limited viewers, so it's a little bit disappointing, because people go for the entertaining videos, funny, and the useless video which will not make any good impact on your life, and you will not be having anything good. You will not be making anything good with that, so it's just a waste of time. So let's flip here and make it a Salman G and abcd123 and let's click on the execute. Okay. Yeah, I got this. Now when I come back here, you will be noticing that I got this, and I will be copying it here. Login with two-factor authentication, code, username was Salman D with this code, and here I go. You can have a look. I got the token. So this was the two-factor authentication enabling with the email. You can use a SMS service as well for like Twilio, or you can integrate something like that. So this was the concept here, IAS. So if you really like this video, find really helpful, then please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. See you in the next video. Take care.